Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and Xiaomi has launched the new Mi TV. This is a 49-inch one. It is a full HD TV and also boasts of HDR capabilities. It is available at an attractive price, but should you consider buying it? Well, we're about to find out. Kicking things off with the build of the Xiaomi Mi LED TV4A Pro, it isn't the slimmest television in the market, and that's okay. It, however, does have relatively slim bezels around the display, which gives the TV a nice look but aren't as thin as what we've seen on, let's say, the Mi TV4. You can choose to either wall mount the TV or put it on a tabletop. We put it on a tabletop and the two plastic feet are sturdy, well built and hold the TV in place. Overall, the design of the Mi TV4A Pro is simple. It won't turn heads, but it isn't flimsy either. It serves the purpose and we like it. When it comes to connectivity, the TV has 3 HDMI ports. One of them is ARC compatible, 2 USB ports, an Ethernet port, AV input, good old antenna, and SPDIF for audio. Now, the TV only has an SPDIF port for audio output, which can be a bummer for some. I mean, it has HDMI ARC, yes, but if you're someone that has a pair of really nice studio monitors or speakers that need 3.5mm connectivity, then you may need to invest in a converter. However, yeah, we would have liked to see more audio output options from the TV. Now, here is a few things to keep in mind, especially where HDR and the panel of this TV is concerned. Now, the Mi TV has a full HD panel, and Xiaomi says that it'll be available in VA and IPS panels for this particular 49-inch model. So now, if you want to know which is yours, whether you have an IPS or a VA panel, just switch the TV on, put on some content, and go and physically press the display a little bit. If you see rainbow-like colors around the area where you press the TV, then your TV has a VA panel. If it doesn't, then you have an IPS panel. Either way, the one that we have for review has an IPS panel. Now, when the question comes for HDR, the TV has an 8-bit panel. So the question arises as to how can the TV produce HDR even though it has an 8-bit panel, because to actually take advantage of HDR, you need a 10-bit panel. Now, an 8-bit panel can produce upwards of 16 million colors, which is a lot if you are going to just watch everyday TV. However, for HDR content, you need a 10-bit panel that can produce over 1 billion different colors, which is why you see the so many shades of red, for example, when you are looking at content in HDR. But that's not the thing. You see, a lot of other factors go into it. HDR can be defined as two things: color depth and contrast ratio. Now, of course, the 8-bit panel on the TV can only give you so much colors. Like we said, it's 16 million colors. However, the contrast ratio can be improved off the TV to give you HDR performance. So yeah, you will see a lot of TVs in the market that are full HD, that have an 8-bit panel, but also boast of HDR. But how is the picture performance and HDR performance of this TV is what we're going to tell you now. When the HDMI 2.0 option was switched off, the performance of the TV was fantastic. We ran our standard set of content from the Xbox One X, which was Netflix and Prime Videos. The IPS panel gave generous viewing angles as well. The dark staircase fight sequence in Daredevil had good contrast considering how dimly lit the scene is. The darkness of space mixed with the bright light in Star Trek Discovery made space look desirable, and the details on Michael Burnham's suit looked vibrant. It is needless to say that you will thoroughly enjoy watching 1080p content on this TV. For the HDR test, we played the same sequences from Star Trek Discovery and Daredevil Season 2, and the first thing to notice is that everything becomes darker. In Star Trek Discovery, there is loss of detail and brightness rather than enriching the image. Even in Daredevil, rather than being able to make out the details in Daredevil's suit, all you see is a silhouette. It's startling how the performance has changed when you switch HDR on. So yeah, like we've said up till now, if you want to enjoy the true potential of this TV, I would suggest keeping the HDMI 2.0 option to switched off, watch content in 1080p, negate the HDR, because this TV has some fantastic 1080p performance, but the HDR performance is bleak. For gaming, we played Forza Horizon 3 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and it all looked fantastic as long as HDMI 2.0 is switched off. Rise of the Tomb Raider is one game that looks fantastic on a 4K HDR TV with its HDR mode enabled. The same can't be said for its performance on the Mi LED Smart TV 4A Pro. You can see that the content loses out on vividness found when playing in SDR. So now one thing that I want to tell you guys is the difference between the types of Android TVs that you get. Some of these TVs boast of Android TV as the operating system, whereas the others just boast of Android. Now Google has two types of operating systems that you can get on a TV. One is Android TV, which is what we have here on this Xiaomi TV. However, there are a lot of smart TVs available in the market that boast of Android but actually run on the Android open source platform, that is AOSP. Now the disadvantage of AOSP is that you will always get mobile versions of applications. So let's say if you have a TV, a smart TV, and when you open the Netflix app or the Prime Videos app, you see the mobile UI. You will know this if you open the user interface on your smartphone or a tablet. More on a tablet, you will notice the same UI on the TV. This means that what you are getting is a subpar experience of these streaming services. Google also doesn't need to enforce that the Google Play Store is on these TVs. So kind of advantage is that you have access to a Play Store, not exactly a Play Store, but an App Store on AOSP TVs where you really don't need to log in. But if you actually want a fantastic smart TV Android experience, you should definitely consider TVs running on Android TV rather than on the AOSP platform. You can use your voice to search for content using the voice feature of the remote control. Simply press the microphone button and say things like Salman Khan movies, or switch to Star movies, or show me Game of Thrones, and if the content is available, it will pop up. You can't say things like play Game of Thrones on Hotstar, but you can say open Hotstar by saying open Hotstar, and the voice search works extremely well thanks to the Google Assistant integration. Add to it the fact that you can control all your appliances, smart appliances, with the Google Assistant. So if you have a security camera or lights that can be activated with the OK Google command, you actually have very little reason to get off the couch with this TV. So yes, the TV does have access to the Google Play Store. However, there is no Netflix app on the TV, and Xiaomi at the launch event of the TV said that Prime Videos will be a part of this really soon. Now, if you thought that you could simply Chromecast Netflix from your smartphone to this TV, we'd say think again, because we tried it and it did not work. The Android TV UI has also seen some changes since Android 7. The biggest one is the UI. Everything is neatly laid out with your favorite apps being the first thing that you will see. Everything else is laid out in rows from hot picks to trending videos to play movie suggestions and more. Since the voice controls work well for Android, you really don't need to navigate the UI much physically. Coming to the audio, the Mi LED Smart TV4A Pro has two down-firing 10-watt speakers, bringing the total output to 20 watts. I'm generally not a fan of speakers on a TV, but the ones on the Xiaomi Mi LED TV4A Pro are decent to get the job done for everyday viewing. At 60% volume, it sounds loud and room-filling. There is no bass in the performance of the TV speakers though, so if you will watch news via your set-top box, shows that are vocally more important than the background score, then you should do just fine. You can throw in the occasional movie as well, but if you want to enjoy movies and games, then you will have to invest in a pair of speakers. Speaking of the remote control, Xiaomi has gone with the same minimalistic design as the one we saw previously, with some welcome changes. The remote this time has a more squarish design. This makes it easier to hold it in one's hands and gives it a good grip. The remote has a few new buttons this time around. You have a voice control button below the power button, which brings up the Google Assistant. On the left and the right of the back button, you have the PatchWall and an Android OS button respectively to bring up the UI that you want. Now, considering the features on offer on this Xiaomi 49-inch TV, it is kind of a value for money proposition at 30,000 rupees. You get a pretty good full HD panel for content consumption, be it through a Fire TV stick or if you are going to watch content from the inbuilt apps. You also get the full-fledged Android TV operating system along with PatchWall, so you have the option to choose between which UI you would like to work with. You also get the Google Assistant, which means voice controls will work really, really well. However, the only disadvantage that I can see for this TV is the fact that the HDR performance is a little bleak. However, if you are just going to watch full HD content, I just suggest switch HDMI 2.0 off and you have a pretty good TV. But yeah, the HDR is kind of okay. Speakers will get the job done for everyday TV viewing, but if you want to enjoy the bangs and thuds of your games and movies, then I would suggest definitely investing in a pair of nice speakers or a soundbar or a home theater based on your room size. So there you have it, guys. That was our review of the Xiaomi 49-inch full HD TV. You can always let us know what you thought of this video in the comment section below. For more videos like this one, you can subscribe to our channel, and if you have any questions about the TV, let us know and we will do our best to answer them for you. We will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.